I'm Brian Pirie. We farm at Auchry farm for the last, well, it's been in the family farm from 1910. I'm the fourth generation Pirie here. My son, who's also involved with the farm, he'll be the fifth. So we've been here a while, and that's how long it's been in the farm for. We farm here about 780 acres in total. Our main crop is spring barley, grown for the malting market. There's 520 acres grown for that. We grow winter wheat, there's about 60 acres, winter rape, 60 acres, and winter barley, about 30 acres. Potatoes, we let out a field of potatoes for rotation purposes, about 30 acres there. We got into growing green manures. We realised that I wanted to increase the fertility of the land, and I realised that there wasn't enough. Alongside we do import organic manures and premium compost, but it just wasn't enough to put the fertility back in the land. That's why we headed down the green manure route, to try and get some more fertility and organic matter put back into the land. So we've been growing green manures now for about 8 years, and cover crops for about 6 years. Not to get different between the two of them, the green manures, they're in the ground for about a year, and the cover crops are sown after a winter crop or spring barley at the back of the year. So they're only in the ground for like 4 or 5 months. And we've got cover crops growing in that field over there, which was sown about the end of August. So it'll be coming out ploughed in about the end of February for a spring cereal going in. The benefits of having cover crop we've found are it's great for soil structure, and it helps with water infiltration. You're maintaining a living root in the soil all the time it's in the ground. So it's good for that. You are protecting the soil surface from erosion, and you're also ploughing back in organic matter. You're increasing your organic matter and your fertility levels of your soil, and that leads to increased yield, and so it's really beneficial. And we've been able to reduce our inorganic nitrogen in our spring growing cereals by 50% following a green manure crop. Whereas with cover crops, we don't decrease the amount of inorganic nitrogen too much, but the yield increases there. We see it in the yield maps, and it's very beneficial, and that's why this year I'm growing 100 acres of cover crop in the land. The seed mixes that we've been using here, we've been doing trials. As I say, we've been growing green manures for 8 years, and in the last 3 or 4 years we've been doing trial work with King's Crops, and Ed Jones and Stephen Penris from Frontier Agriculture have been steering and helping me get the right mix for our farm here. And we're finding that the best green manure is a legume mix of crimson clover, berseem clover, red clover, and a bit of chicory. So it's mostly fixed in nitrogen the whole year, and that's why we're able to reduce the amount of inorganic nitrogen in our next crop by up to 50%. The cover crops, what works best here on this farm, we've found out it's mostly oil radish and forage rye are the two seem to grow best. We want forage rye. We've tried winter oats, but the forage rye does thrive and put a good root structure in the ground, and the oil radish it's doing a good taproot, which helps the drainage and compaction sites. So that's the two varieties that we've been using. We've tried a few. The first year we tried just with we got a short set of discs and we sowed it conventionally. Costly and expensive. So the following year we got a hold of a machine that had discs and a mini drill in the back, so we could do it in one pass into stibbles. So that was one operation. It was fine and quick, and it was less soil disturbance, which is always good for what we're trying to do. We have been trialling broadcasting on cover crops into a standing crop The whole thing with the cover crops is to get this crop sown as early as possible after an autumn crop. The longer it's in the ground, the bigger it is going into winter, the more organic matter you'll be putting back in your own land. So we're gaining a fortnight by spinning on seed into a standing crop of spring barley. And if last year we trialled it with a Bateman sprayer, with a Stocks spinner, and this year we actually put our own fertiliser spinner on our tractor, and we spread it on that route. So we're getting a throw of about 21 metres, which is not quite 36 or 28 what we're aiming for, but it's a start. We'll see what's growing, and we've realised this year we're putting a mix of 4 varieties and only like one's really growing. So back to the drawing board and try and get that sorted for next year. A lot of people are doing it, we are just getting into it. I think that's what we have to focus on, try and not upset the soil structure too much. And I think that's one of the things we'll be aiming to do. Like I said, we've sowed some rape this year, the first time in till, and that's, if we can get the cover crop sown with broadcasting, or not even putting a machine near the land, not touching soil, which is, I think it's all positive. Why cover crops and green manures are important for us is we're just due to lack of fertility and lack of organic matter. I want to increase my organic matter in the soil, and we don't get enough imported muck and compost to fulfill that. So this is another option we've got this, and I've seen the benefits of green manures. They're fantastic. Ideally, if we got paid to put them in, I would put in cover crop green manure followed by a spring cereal every year. Cover crops, they are also supplying a lot of benefits and great for soil health, so which I'm trying to increase and look after the land. If you look after the land, it'll look after you.